Hello everyone. Now today I want to tell you something that I heard many years ago about one of the greatest tennis players of all time, Martina Navratilova. It was in the early 1990s. Her legendary career was entering its later stages. New stars like Steffi Graf, Monica Seles were rising. Martina was still a great player, still a championship level athlete, but she wasn't dominating tennis like she used to and was losing matches to some of these upcoming young stars. So one day, she gathered her coaching team and other advisors and asked a very simple question. She said, "What can I do to extend my singles career at championship level for a few more years? To be able to compete at that level and to win maybe a couple of more Grand Slams." Her team went away and brainstormed, researched, and came back with a number of suggestions. But one idea stood out. Strange, fascinating, and way ahead of its time. It was suggested that she undergo a small minor eye operation. Why? What's the reason? It was because that would slightly reduce her rate of blinking, just enough to give her a fraction of a second improvement in reaction time, 0.003 seconds faster. That's it. But in elite sport, that could mean the difference between hitting the line or just missing it. That story has always stayed with me and has always amazed me, and I've spoken about it quite often because it shows how even back then, more than 30 years ago, elite athletes and their teams were obsessed with marginal gains. And I repeat, marginal gains. Every blink, every calorie, every muscle matters. And that mindset of dissecting performance into the smallest measurable unit has since evolved into one of the most advanced industries in the world, which is sports science and technology. Look, what started as a coach with a stopwatch and a nutrition plan has now become an ecosystem of data, sensors, algorithms, and AI models, all working together to push the limits of human capability, of athletic capability and endurance. Now let's fast forward from the 1990s to today. And the world of elite sport looks completely different. Athletes are monitored not just during training but 24/7. Even while sleeping, they wear sensors that track their heart rate movements, muscle fatigue, hydration levels, sleep quality, even psychological stress. Their movements are analyzed in slow motion using multi-angle cameras and motion capture systems. Nutrition is customized to the molecular level. Teams employ sports psychologists, neuroscientists, biomechanists, data analysts, and AI engineers. Every training session, every meal, every heartbeat becomes a data point that's fed into predictive models that tell you exactly when an athlete will peak or when they're about to burn out. This is no longer guesswork, it's precision science, and of course, this evolution has also created an entire business ecosystem. Global sports technology is now a multi-billion-dollar industry. You've got companies building AI-powered coaching platforms, smart wearables, virtual reality training simulations, and recovery tech that was once considered a science fiction and seen in Star Trek. And that also on black and white TVs. For example, Formula One teams employ hundreds of data scientists to analyze performance telemetry in real time. In football, cricket, and athletics, tracking systems like Hawkeye and Catapult have become essential day-to-day tools. Even mental conditioning is being commercialized with AI-driven cognitive training programs that improve focus and decision-making under pressure. So from that single idea about Martina blinking less, we've arrived today at a point where the entire human body and mind have become a living data set. The bigger question though is what this means for sport itself. Athletics today and athletes today aren't just competing with their rivals. They're also competing with technology, with data, and with the expectations that come with constant optimization. And if you think about it, we are witnessing a new kind of athlete. Someone who is part human, part algorithm. Someone whose every movement, decision and heartbeat is being measured and managed for what? For performance perfection. And that raises some interesting, in fact fascinating discussions about ethics, about access, about the future of sport. Will only wealthy teams or nations be able to afford this technology? Are we creating a performance gap that is no longer about talent, but about resources and data analytics? Look, maybe. But today it is what it is. Only results seem to count. And how you get there is becoming less and less important. So when I think back to that story of Martina Navratilova and that tiny suggestion to blink a little less, it feels symbolic because it reminds me that sport at its heart has always been about trying to push boundaries, trying to excel. The tools have changed from stopwatches to sensors, from instincts to AI, but the spirit and the will to win remains the same. The will to win and to be the best, the hunger to keep improving, to find that 0.0003 second that separates the good from the great. And that's the beauty of sport. Apart from the competition and the results, it's about exploring the full potential of what the human body and the human mind can achieve. Tell me what you think. Till next time.